Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are on page 1 of your student journal. Okay, our objective for the day, you're going to notice I'm going to do a little shortcut when we do the objective. Instead of writing today I will, I'm going to put TIW. So it stands for today I will learn to read and write numbers to the millions place. Okay, now remember I wrote this in green, so the expectation is that you're writing it with me. So let's read that one more time. Today I will learn to read and write numbers to the millions place. Okay, so let's look at our vocabulary that we have. And they first give us a place value chart. So I do like our place value chart, but I don't like parts of it. So this is called the periods, which is really important. So we have a ones period, we have a thousands period, and we have a millions period. So those periods are separated by commas. So I want you to add some commas there. That's how we separate these. So this would be 1, 1. This would be 10 ones and 100 ones. This would be 1,000, 10,000, and 100,000. 1 million, 10 million, and 100 million. That's how this place value chart is explained. Okay, our next vocab word is a digit. A digit is any single numeral from 0 to 9. So for example, 24 has 2 digits. So this number is 24, but it has 2 digits because 2 is a digit and 4 is a digit. So an example of maybe a 3-digit number would be 136 is a 3-digit number. It has 3 digits. Okay, our next word is standard form. Standard form is just written with numbers. And then our next word is word form. So as it sounds like, it's written with words. So 917,402. So that's a number, but they wrote it in words instead of using numbers. Okay, so we're not going to really use our steps today. We're going to kind of get started. Now, I'm going to put down my green pen and pick up my red pen, which means I'm going to do a problem that you don't have. So remember, red means you're just going to sit back and watch. So here's my first problem. It says write the number in word form. So they've given me this and they want me to write it in word form. Now they've also given me this place value chart that I can use to help. So I can put this in here to help me. So what I noticed, remember, is we said there's commas here. Those have commas. So I see 1 comma, and it might sometimes help to work a little bit backwards, but this ones period right here, they have a 0, a 9, and a 3. And then the thousands period, I see a 4, a 9, and a 3. And then there's a comma that goes there. Okay, so the way that I'd write this is I group them by their periods. So I group them by their periods. So this is the number that I say as a group. So I put that as a group, and the same for here. So how do I say just that number? Well, that number would be 493. Now, when you have a number that is under 100, that has 2 words in it, such as 24 or 58 or 79 or 93, you put a hyphen there. So 493. Now, that's in the thousands period. So what I write for that comma is I say thousands. So that's 1 period, 493 thousands. Then I'm going to look at my next period. My next period is 93. If I just looked at that by itself, I would call that 93. So 93. And I don't say ones because I say the period when there's a comma there. So since I don't have a comma here, I don't say the ones. So I just say 493,000. I'm sorry, not thousands, 1,000, I apologize, 93. That is how I would write that that number into word form. So let's look at another one of those. Okay, here's my next one. And it says, write the number in standard form. Okay, so this time they gave it to me in words, and they want me to put it in standard form. So the opposite of what I just did. Okay, so what I want you to notice is we have these commas that are separating my periods. Okay, so I'm going to look at this first one together. So what I have here is I have 1 million. So 1 is my number and million is my place value period. So I'm going to put a 1 and a comma. Then I have 507,000. So that's a period. 507,000. So my number is 507. So how would I write just 507? 507, and then 1,000 is the period. And then my last one is 52. Now, here's the trick about this, is I can't just write 52 because each period has to have 3 digits. So I'm going to have to put 052 so that one period has the 3 digits. And then there's not a comma there. So notice how I kind of separated it into periods, and then I looked at my numbers. Okay, that makes me go back to my first one, but I realized that I didn't put a comma there. So when I wrote this, I should have had a comma after 1,000 because I still needed the comma to separate the period. So 493,000 should have a comma because that was one period. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we're going to try some of these together. So I'm going to put down my green pen and pick up my put down my red pen and pick up my green pen. And if you want to join me, we're on page 2 of your student journal. Okay, so our first one says write the number in word form. So again, we can use this to help us, but I like to try and work away from it because they won't always provide that. Okay, so let's look at this as in our periods. That's what we really want to look at it as in our period. So my first period only has one digit, and it's just a 3. Okay, that comma is what? What period is this in? So if I use this to help me, well, this would be in my ones period. This would be in my thousands. So this must be in my millions period. So I'm going to write 3 million because it's in my millions period, comma. Okay, let's look at my next period. So how would I just say that number? That number is 921, and 21 is going to get the hyphen. Okay, and what period is that in? Well, that period's the thousands period. So I'm going to say 921,000, comma. Okay, and we're going to say our last one. Okay, how do I say that number? 25. Now, I don't say 25 ones. So for this one, because there's not the comma, I don't say a place value, nor do I write the comma. So this number is 3,921,025. Okay, let's look at one more of these together. Write the number in standard form. Again, so we can use this place value chart. We also want to try and get away from it just for when we take a test, they might not provide it for us. Okay, so let's look at what we have. So they've separated it into, so they want us to write it in standard form. So here's my first period. I could circle that as well. 632,000. Okay, so my number is 632. So I know how to write 632. And 1,000 is my place value period. So I'm going to put a comma there. Okay, then I have 17. Now remember, a period has to have 3 digits. So if I just wrote 17 like this, that's 2 digits. So I have to add a 0 somewhere. If I added a 0 to the end, that's going to be 170. So I have to add the 0 in the front to make it a 3-digit period. So this would be 632,000, and then I put the comma there to separate that, 17. And we're not going to do another comma. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, your teacher's going to give you some problems to try on your own. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.